But the story that we do have for the NBA is the MVP matchup between James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Also in there is LeBron James, but because of what's been happening in the season and his lack of leadership or lack of claiming the problems that are turmoiling the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think he will be out of the MVP race. So it really is up between James Harden and Russell Westbrook. So let's go over some things between the two. Harden has played in every single game but one, and he's only missed one practice. Harden also made his own history by being the first player to record 2,000 points and assist on 2,000 points in NBA history. All that was done in a single season. But Westbrook is behind KD and Gary Payton for most points scored in Supersonics and Thunder history. He currently is leading the league in scoring with 31.9 points per game. And he's currently averaging a double-double with 10.4 assists per game and 10.6 rebounds per game. Westbrook in his career has a triple-double against every single team in the NBA except the Chicago Bulls, which unfortunately I'm not discrediting anything James Harden has done. I think if Russell Westbrook were not to have had the season that he's having, he were to be the clear MVP winner. But unfortunately for him, Russell Westbrook is having a record-breaking year. I went over it before in the last Facebook Live feed that he is just going off, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Like I said, the Bulls are the only team that he doesn't have a triple-double against in his career. That doesn't account for this year. But this year he has 40 triple-doubles, and he's bound to have one before April 12th when the regular season ends. Again, it doesn't mean James Harden is not playing at an MVP caliber level. It doesn't mean that he's not MVP, quality. But I think that the people are going to vote, especially the writers, and they're going to vote James Harden to be the MVP. And it's just all the records he's been breaking with so many triple-doubles in a row. It's hard to see James Harden, yeah, he's doing very, very well. But when you talk about MVP, it means most valuable player. If the Rockets were to lose James Harden and the Thunder were to lose Russell Westbrook, I think clearly the Thunder would be the team to suffer most. It shows in the standings. It shows in the standings, and it shows in just the way that they play. You know, there's no, like, Victor Oladipo, yes, he's a great scorer. But Westbrook's the only person who can score for the Oklahoma City Thunder. For the Houston Rockets, you have Eric Gordon, who's going to be probably the sixth man of the year. And so when you have Clint Capella's playing at a great level, they got a new coach in Mike D'Antoni, who's finally getting the team that he deserves. Because when he coached the Lakers and the Knicks, he didn't really have the team that he really deserved to show how good of an offensively minded coach he was. So I would just like to see, Russell Westbrook. I think he is the MVP, and I don't really think there's any other player. Yeah, you could say LeBron James, but because of the woes that they've been having, they're 6-10 or 7-11 in the last 19 or 20 games, and 7-11, yeah, that only adds up to 18. So in the last 18 games, they've lost more games than they've won. So I would like to see it come down to Harden and Westbrook, which I can guarantee you that it will. But I just don't see Harden's not doing as much for his team as Russell Westbrook is doing for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And there's so many people that will agree with me on that, including history. You know, the amount of triple-doubles, I mean, if you even understand, if you're even a moderate basketball fan, you understand that people only have 4 or 5 in a row. To average a triple-double and to then have the most triple-doubles in a single season in NBA history is a feat not easily done. And that's why I think the voters will really understand, and I think they will vote for Russell Westbrook. If anyone has any contrasting argument for James Harden to get the MVP. I don't think you're wrong. I think he definitely has a shot of doing it. But I think the voters are really going to say that Russell Westbrook is the most valuable player. And if you want to go with best player, most outstanding player, the mop, I still think that Russell Westbrook is a better player than James Harden this year. And yeah, you could say, well, the Thunder is the 6th seed, and the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken, are the 4th seed or the 3rd seed. And yes, I understand that, but we're talking about most valuable player, and who does well without who? And without the Thunder, without Russell Westbrook, Oklahoma City is not a playoff team. Without James Harden, I think the Rockets stumble in, and yes, the Rockets are the 3rd seed. The Rockets stumble into the playoffs. They have Mike D'Antoni, who's been a coach all around the league. He's been a head coach all over the place. He's also the offensive coordinator for USA Basketball. At least he was in the 2012 games and the 2016 games, I believe, as well, with Mike Krzyzewski. And Billy Donovan's just the second year in his NBA head coaching career. So everything, in a sense, is harder for Russell Westbrook to do and is stacked against Russell Westbrook, which to me only makes his claim for MVP even better. Remember, to all my Lehigh Valley Phantoms fans out there, if you guys want to go to a Phantoms game on April 14th, look no further than Young and Dominant Sports Talks as we have the tickets for you. $17 a piece for April 14th. It's a 7 p.m. start. Young and Dominant Sports Talk is promoting Drew Gabriel to sing the national anthem. We have a comment from John Murphy here. Giannis or AD, who will win the MVP first? That's a tough one. The only reason I'm going to say Giannis Antetokounmpo is because he's a 1 through 5 player, John. We just got done talking about the MVP with Westbrook and Harden. I'd like to see you leave a comment on who you think is going to win that between Westbrook and Harden. But between Giannis or AD, unfortunately for all the fans out there, for Anthony Davis, I think it's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the main reason is because of the DeMarcus Cousins trade. We got a comment from a Walter Cronkite journalism student out there at Arizona State. Keep it up, buddy.